Meant to Be, a novel of honor and duty for love of country. Written by Jessica James. Narrated by Stella Bloom. Chapter 1. Ocean City, Maryland, August 30th. Lauren Cantrell inhaled the salty air and tucked her hands into her sweatshirt to warm them against the ocean breeze. The sun was barely a hint in the distance, just a ribbon of orange-laced clouds sandwiched between midnight blue water and a vast expanse of dark sky. She loved this time of day. With the beach all but empty, everything appeared still except for the constant, cadenced ebb and flow of the surf. She pictured the ocean as a living thing, and this was its pulse and heartbeat. From the glittering sun on its surface to the thriving, unseen dimensions below, the sea represented life in all its majesty and mystery. Lauren closed her eyes and took another deep breath, allowing the sensation of peace and contentment to wash over her. Standing at the water's edge, she marveled at the ocean's infinite power, a living force that could welcome her with open arms or eat her alive at will. The sudden shock of cold water hitting her toes brought Lauren back from her reverie. As she leaned down to roll up her sweatpants, she spotted a white circular object in the sand and stepped excitedly into the receding water to retrieve it. Just as she bent down to grab the shell from the rush of an incoming wave, a gust of wind lifted her ball cap and sent it sailing down the beach. By the time she snatched the sand dollar out of the water and turned around, the hat was well out of reach, tumbling and bouncing down the beach like it had assumed a life of its own. Damn! I just bought that yesterday. Lauren shoved the shell into her sweatshirt pocket and sprinted after the hat, but stopped when an approaching jogger scooped it up in mid-bounce without breaking his stride. When he reached Lauren, he stopped. "This yours?" "Yeah, thanks. Sorry to interrupt your run." As Lauren took the hat and gazed up into the jogger's steel-gray eyes, her heart lurched. It only lasted a moment, kind of like the flash from a lightning bolt, but it caught her off guard and left her incapable of speech. She stood spellbound, staring at him in awkward and uncomfortable silence. "No problem, ma'am." The sound of his deep voice affected her almost as much as his captivating good looks. Lauren dropped her gaze to the hat she held in her hand, anxiously trying to pull her drifting thoughts together, and then focused her attention once again on the jogger. His smile revealed straight white teeth, and his manners implied a military background. Yet his brown hair curled from beneath the ball cap he wore, and his face showed more than a day's worth of stubble. He stood looking down at her with the kind of careless confidence that comes from immense physical strength, and when she didn't say anything else, nodded politely and continued his jog. Lauren sat down and put her head between her knees. Geez, they don't make them like that where I live. Lifting her gaze, she stared out into the ocean, mumbling out loud, "Way to make conversation with one of the most gorgeous men ever created, Lauren." Wishing she had some reason to talk to him again, she looked to her left. But he must have gone from a jog to a sprint because he was now just a dot in the distance on the long stretch of beach. Exasperated with herself, Lauren lowered her head again. Oh well, it wasn't like anything would have come of it anyway. She reminded herself she had come here to relax, and that is what she intended to do. She needed this place. Tomorrow she would be on a plane back to that God-forsaken land where she'd spent the last 5 years of her life. This was her chance to unwind and slow down. Just breathe. It had been 2 weeks since she'd landed in the States. Just enough time to get accustomed to the culture and lifestyle of America again, but not enough time to really relax. In fact, the first 10 days had brought their own level of stress as she'd attended a seemingly endless barrage of meetings, conferences, and classified briefings. Now it was just her, the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?